Transformation Tuesday. So what I've decided that I would like to do is each week bring you guys some content like I do for my YouTube page. Bring you guys some content that I really think would be helpful for you just as a person. It does not matter what business you're in. It does not matter if you're in this TLC business or not. There are things that I feel like we need to do just as people to help ourselves to grow, to be able to transform. So if you are not in this TLC business, these tips are still for you. And if you are, these are especially for you, because if you really want to take your business to the next level, you're going to have to transform. Not just your body, but you're going to have to transform your mind. Let me tell you something. Success is a mind game, and success leaves clues. Okay? This is not about who can sell the most, NutriBurst. We know a lot of people selling NutriBurst. That's what we out here to do. Help a lot of people start their home-based businesses. So a lot of people should be selling NutriBurst. People should be able to turn around on any corner and get the vitamin that they need. They should be able to turn around and get the detox that they need, because everybody need it. And so that's fine. This is not about that. This is really about you being able to take your business to the next level when you change the way that you think. When you change the way that you think, when you change the way that you share, when you change the way that you present yourself to the world, then you can take your business to the next level. Because you can sell as much NutriBurst as you want. And that's fine. You'll have a lot of customers. But are you going to really build a business that you could leave as a legacy for your children, for your grandchildren? Is anybody going to want to follow you? Are you going to bring anybody else into this business? Because like I told you guys last week on my live, this NutriBurst sells itself. People not buying NutriBurst from you. They're buying you. So what are they buying? What are you presenting to the world? And so there are 3 things that I really live by in terms of transformation. And when you go on this journey to begin to really transform your life, physically, mentally, spiritually, whoever your spiritual connection is, or what your spiritual connection is to, you have to really be serious about telling the truth. So there are 3 T's that I talk about, that I believe in when it comes to transformation, that requires a serious transformation. And that's truth. You have to be truthful with yourself. Truthful about your past, truthful about your habits, truthful about who you've been to yourself, who you've been presenting yourself as to the world. You have to be truthful. Because in reality, if you are saying, okay, I want to make this transformation, I want to become a better person, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but then you're believing the lies that you're telling yourself, and you are not willing to really face the truth about yourself. You're not really ready to look in the mirror and say, Daisha, you are inconsistent. That's why you're still the weight that you are. Daisha, you do not even go to work and give them people 8 hours. That's why you didn't get that promotion. Daisha, you do not really spend a lot of time with your husband. That's why your marriage is failing. That's why he in other girls' faces. Daisha, you have not had a conversation with your friend. That's why y'all don't have this connection anymore. You haven't reached out. You have to look in that mirror and tell yourself the 100% truth. Because if you don't do it, nobody else gonna do it. Nobody else gonna do that for you. I'm sure a lot of you people, we all do. We got people in our lives that just boost us up, boost our ego. Oh, girl, you great. Oh, girl, you look good. No, don't worry about it. You did enough. Oh, I wouldn't have did that on them people's job anyway. They working you too hard anyway. Just adding fuel to your mess, helping you to live in this whole lie of a life, because that's really what it is. You say I want this, but you do this. Even though you know this don't produce the result that you want. I want to lose weight, but I'm eating 13 cookies every day. How? I want to have a great marriage, but when I get home and I'm in the bed, this is what I'm doing. I'm on the phone. I ain't even looking at my husband. What you're doing, your actions are not in alignment with what you say you want. And so you're telling yourself a lie. And you're telling yourself, this lie for whatever reason. Maybe it's a lie that makes you feel good. Maybe it makes you feel better about yourself. I don't know. But there is no way you can begin to make a transformation if you don't begin to tell yourself the truth. So be willing to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth and write it down. Anybody that know me know I live by journals. I have different journals for different purposes. I live by them. You have to begin to tell yourself the truth, because them lies don't mean nothing. All that stuff you trying to tell yourself to make yourself feel better, it show up in real life what it really is. Your actions, like Miss Sheila just said, they speak louder than words. And people are tired of hearing your words. Your upline is tired of hearing you saying, yeah, coach, I'm gonna make 5 calls a day. You don't gotta lie to me. This your business. This is your life. We see what's going on. So you lying to me, it ain't taking nothing away from me. It's taken away from you. So tell yourself the truth. No transformation can happen until you're really ready to tell yourself the truth. You hurting yourself. You right. You have to tell yourself the truth. That's so, so, so important. And if you got people around you who really genuinely care about you, they're not going to let you lie to yourself. They're not going to continue to let you lie to yourself. If everybody around you agreeing with you and you're not progressing to the way that you want to progress, and everybody around you agreeing with you, you need to start evaluating the people around you. When you wake up out of that fog you need to start looking at all the people around you and really evaluating, do y'all really even care about me? Because you're just going to let me live this lie? People who really care about you, they're not yes men to you. People will hold you accountable. They will force you to look at yourself. They will force you. I have 3 children, and my middle daughter, let me tell you something. You ain't living no lie around her. That's Anaya. She gonna tell, mama. That ain't what you taught me. What you over here doing is not what you taught me. So what's going on? There's some inconsistency happening here. So either you lied to me or you lied to yourself. I need you to figure out which one. She's really good with that. That one child will tell me, and my son too, that younger one, that baby say, no. The stuff you doing with your grandson, this ain't stuff you never would have let us do before. You want to pretend like you still the same disciplinary and you still this, you not. They see it. And so when people really care about you, they hold your feet to the fire. They don't let you tell yourself the truth. So that's the first step in transformation. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Write those truths down. You don't have to listen. Here's the great thing about it though. Just because they're true today don't mean that they have to continue to be true. You can change that, and only you can change that. You have the power to be able to change that, but you got to do it. You can't make no excuses about why it's not being done. You have to make a decision that I'm not telling myself any more lies. And I don't care how bad the truth hurt, and I don't care how many tears I gotta shed, or whatever who I have to lose, and whatever it is, you owe yourself that. Because if you've joined this business and you're looking at these leaders, you're looking at Natalie Nicole, who just became a millionaire. You're looking at the Stormy Wellingtons, and you're looking at, the Tammy Price. You're looking at those people and you're like, man, that's what I'm about to do. I'm not if you tell yourself lies, sis. I don't care how many pictures you post on Instagram and Facebook. That don't matter. If you are still telling yourself lies and you have not changed this right here, you have not transformed this right here, you could transform all of this, baby. You could look real good, and a lot of people could be all on your site. Claire click, let me buy. Click the link in my bio, let me buy. But how many people really following you? And when they do follow you and they get to know you, how many people stay? That's the thing. Because it's only so long you can cover up that from other people. They see it. Even if you continue to tell your lies to yourself, other people will eventually see it. And when people really want to grow and they see that you're telling yourself lies and they know they can't grow under you, they get from up under you. And so sometimes we wonder why people leave our business. Yeah, we will have those people that will walk away, that will just do it. But sometimes people will walk away because you are not the leader they need you to be. And that's just the reality. And that's okay. Because it doesn't mean that because you weren't the leader then that you can't do what you need to do to become the leader now, because you still can. But you got to tell yourself the truth. You got to say, dang, man, I didn't do a good job with that. Let me see what I could do to fix it. Let me go learn some stuff. Let me see how I could get this better. But you got to tell yourself the truth. Even in AA, they tell you the first step to change is admitting that it's a problem. You got to admit that to yourself. So the second thing when it comes to transformation, so tell yourself the truth first, and then transparency. You got to be transparent. See, a lot of times we want to go fix ourselves in the dark and then show the public the cleaned up, polished you. And not really be transparent with who you are and what your journey was. When you're missing out on that whole part of life that is really about embracing all of those imperfections. And you're missing a whole group of people that you could be helping that may be going through that same phase. They may be in that phase where they haven't told themselves the truth yet. And your transparency about your journey can really help them. But you are still in some of that, fog where you don't want to be that vulnerable to the world. You don't want to present that person to the world. You want to present the polished person to the world. But we see through you anyway. We see through the pictures. We see through the smile. We see through a lot of that. So that transparency is so important. And it's so liberating. It's so freeing. When you don't have to worry about if this lie gonna catch up with you or this decision gonna catch up with you. Let me tell you something. When you can be transparent with things, with who you are, where you were, what you went through, what life was, there is nothing nobody can come and hold over your head. You never have to be worried, looking over your shoulder for the other shoe to drop for, oh, this person knew who I was 5 years ago. Oh God, don't let them talk to my new business person because that person might know. Honey, when you transparent, you transparent. You don't care who know what. You cannot hold over my head my past decisions. You can't hold over my head who I was, because guess what? All of those parts of me made me who I am today, and I love who I am today. So you could tell the world whatever you want to tell them. You can put it in the newspaper, baby. We can all read it together. I don't care. And you got to get to that place of transparency. I'm not saying get on Facebook and tell the whole world your life. Oh, I did this. And we ain't saying go confessions, of a call girl. We don't need all that. We don't need to know all your deep, dark secrets and all of that stuff. But what we're saying is, as you're going through your transformation, share that with the world. Be transparent about that. Don't make people think you just woke up out of the bed 45 pounds lighter. We know that ain't happened. Unless you went and had surgery. That's right, Latavia. You might have known the old one, but you don't know the new one. You want to get to know her? I could tell you about her. You could get to know her. We could have, we could break bread and you could learn who I am now. But you got to remember that. Whoever you were, that's who you were. Be transparent with the world. And that way you don't have to worry about nobody trying to hold nothing over your head. Whatever decision you made in your life, those decisions help you to become the person that you are today. And if you good with the person that you are today, then you shouldn't be caring about none of that. You should be able to, somebody could walk in here with a whole diary of your life and read it to the whole world, and you shouldn't care. You shouldn't be cringing. You shouldn't be looking no kind of way. You shouldn't feel nothing. Anything else you want to share? Because, baby, it's a couple things that you don't even, there's some things that nobody gonna know that I could tell you that'll really shock you if you really want to be shocked. But that little stuff, not gonna do it. Be transparent. Go through that, because somebody else needs that. Somebody else is looking. Somebody else is seeking. Is there, they seeking other people out there that's going through the same thing as them. They don't want to feel like they're in this alone. And so many times when we, especially when we start businesses, when we start businesses and we begin to gain some traction and make some money, sometimes we get in that place where people look at us and they say, dang, man, she's an executive director. How she did that? How she, dang, man, she must be this, she must be that. And they forget that you were, just signing up one day too. This was your first day as a rep too. Be transparent about that journey. Don't make people think you just woke up one day and you was an executive director. We know it don't happen like that. We know, because those people who really need to see a step-by-step progress, they're going to miss out, because they're going to feel like you made this huge leap and there was no baby steps in between. Sometimes we just need small wins on our way to success. And so being transparent with your journey is really going to help a lot more people. And let's face it, we all in this business to help people. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we in this whole state of quarantine, and whoever don't really live in your house, you ain't really interacting with them people a lot. If you're not really going to a job, you're not really interacting with those people a lot. And so that human connection is not the same anymore. It's not. And I don't know about you guys, but I miss some of that connection. I've always been a person who I love to be in my house. I could be in my house 24/7. I don't need to go nowhere until them people say stay inside and outside closed. And then you like, what? I got all this stuff I want to do. But sometimes it takes that. Take this time to really, go through that transformation you need. And listen, I'm not saying that you have to be this horrible person or your life is bad. We all have to go through transformations at different stages in our lives. If you trying to get to the next level, there's a transformation that's necessary. There's some truth you have to tell yourself. There's some transparency you have to be, when you're going through that transformation. And then the next T is trust. You got to trust yourself in that process. So not only do you got to tell yourself the truth and be transparent about that journey, but trust that you're on the right journey. Trust yourself to make the right decision. Trust yourself to do the right thing. Trust yourself to know that if I have to go back and start from the beginning, I might have to do this thing again, because I thought I told myself the truth, and I thought I was transparent, but I missed some steps along the way. So let me go back and start this journey over. It's okay, but trust the process. Trust it. If you're in this TLC business, don't think you're going to drink 2 bottles of this tea, drink a couple of capfuls of this, and then you're going to wake up and your whole stomach going to be gone. It's a process, people. Trust it. Trust it. You trust that baby daddy. Look what he did to you. Trust yourself. You trust that job, and look what happened. Trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, how you expect other people to trust you? If you can't trust your own judgment, how you think a job is going to trust your judgment? You got to trust your judgment. You got to trust that I made the right decision. I made a decision to start this business, or I made a decision to go back to school, or I made a decision, to move out of this state. Whatever it is, trust yourself. and trust that you made the right decision. Don't do this whole wavering stuff. Oh, I wonder if, because guess what? If you don't trust yourself, it comes across to everybody that you're dealing with. You second guessing yourself all the time. So now when you go and you tell somebody else something, guess what they start doing? They start second guessing you too. Well, child, she don't even trust herself. So I don't know if I could trust what she said. I don't know. We need to double check this data. We need to make sure, because she don't even seem sure. What? You know what? He don't even seem sure. Trust yourself. And here's the thing. It doesn't all have to be clear for you to trust yourself. One thing I learned today, and so I did a spiritual reading today with my friend Crystal. And she is my friend, but this is what she does for her business. And let me tell you something. She told me some things that were spot on. That there were things that I had been going through or dealing with or going through this transformation myself, right? And I had been beating myself up for a long time about some things, and I had been putting off some gifts that I know God has given me. I did not share those gifts with the world because I was waiting for my life to be perfect, because I felt like, well, you had this kind of perfect life before, and then it changed, and then, you know, things shifted, and it's not perfect enough for you to be, you know, talk about now you gonna be a public speaker again, or now you gonna be a motivational speaker again, or now you gonna go speak this and do this and write this journal and write this book, and now you gonna, nah, your life ain't perfect enough. You ain't ready for that yet. And so then I wait and I wait and I wait, and I'm waiting for life to get perfect until God was like, girl, I didn't create you for your life to be perfect. I created you to go through these journeys so you can use that experience to help somebody else go through that journey. So it ain't never gonna be perfect. Get over it. Go give the world the gifts that I gave you before I take them back. and once I was able to tell myself the truth, girl, listen, this ain't never gonna be perfect. Once I was able to look myself in the mirror and say, you are holding you back. You are storing up gifts inside of you that are supposed to be given to the world. And guess what? You're never going to get to where you want to be until you do what you're supposed to do for other people. You think you're doing it, but you're not doing it the way your creator said for you to do it. So you're never going to get to where you want to be. So you the roadblock. It's not this job, this person, this man, this child. It don't have nothing to do with none of that. All of it is you, Daisha. It's you. So when you're ready to get out your own way, let me know. And I had to have that hard conversation with myself. I had to go through and I had to journal all the things that were holding me up. All the unforgiveness. All the things that, not just unforgiveness of other people, but things I hadn't forgiven myself for. See, sometimes we forgive other people so quick and we never forgive ourselves. We don't forgive ourselves for that bad relationship. We don't forgive ourselves for that bad decision that might have got us fired. We don't forgive ourselves for not being the type of friend we should have been, or from letting people go when we should have. We don't forgive ourselves for the decisions that we made. But we so quick to turn around and forget somebody else. And then you walking around holding all that stuff, judging yourself, you know, burying your gifts, not really sharing them because you really haven't forgiven yourself. But here's the hard truth. You can go to God for forgiveness, or your creator, or whoever you want to call it, for forgiveness all you want. But until you're ready to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth and be transparent about what's going on in your transformation, and to trust the process and to forgive yourself, it's never gonna happen. You gotta do that. You gotta be willing to forgive yourself. You gotta be willing to say, you know what? Yeah, I made that decision. Yeah, it was a stupid decision. Yeah, I should have never did that. But that was then. I know better now. I forgive myself for that. And I appreciate the lessons that I learned from it. And now I'm moving on. I'm not allowing that to be held over my head no more. So you could bring it up all you want to. You could say whatever you want. It don't matter. And if I hurt somebody in the process, I hope that they forgive me. I really do. But you can't keep holding that. You know, you gotta let that go. So, you know, that's transformation, guys. That's my idea of that is what I live by. That is the process that I've been in for many years. And I go through it. It goes through cycles. It's not something that you transform, you go through this transformation and then you end. No. Every level you're trying to get to, every new gift you want to bring to the world, it requires a transformation. It requires a shifting in your mindset. It requires that. Because in all honesty, you're going to need, like, every level bring new devils. That's just the reality. You need new skills. You need new belief. You need new tools to take with you to the next level to really be successful. Because what might have worked down here is not going to work up there. This was great for this level. Yeah, you could do this all day, all night in your sleep. And now it's time to move up. You gotta elevate. So you gotta have, you need some new skills. You know, you need some new determination. You need a new transformation. You need a renewed mind. You need to be reading different types of personal development books right now. You need to listen to new speakers, because while Mike Murdock might have worked down here, this level where you're going, you might need something else. And that's okay. You just got to be truthful with yourself and know that you need something else. So transformation, I'm going to go back through it real quick. So that transformation requires truth. You being truthful with yourself. It requires transparency. You got to be transparent in that process. You can't go somewhere, duck off for 15 years, and then come back like, whoa, no me. Well, where the heck you been? And what you been doing? People want to know. Be transparent. And you got to trust yourself and trust the process. It's so freaking important, you guys. And forgive yourself. Because if you don't do it, how somebody else gonna do it? If you holding it over your head, if you keep beating yourself up about it, how are you ever gonna move on and be who the world needs you to be? We all came here with gifts in us that we're supposed to give. This world is about service. Service to one another. We were not created to be isolated beings. And so if you can't forgive yourself enough where you give your gifts to the world, you might be holding up somebody else's blessing and holding up somebody else's transformation, because they need whatever it is in you. They need you to give it so they can receive it. And that can start their transformation. So, you know, we got to do this, you guys. It's not always about the physical. It starts up here. And once you make that decision in your mind, in terms of your business, those things will change. When you make that decision in your mind in terms of your body, those things will change. But it starts up here. It don't start in the gym. You got to make a decision to go to the gym. You got to make a decision of what you're going to get in that kitchen and cook. You got to make a decision to pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, sis, I started this business. I want to tell you about it. It starts with a decision. If you don't make that decision, wherever you are right now, that's where you're going to be. You know, that's where you're going to be. So you guys, it's 9:50. We got about maybe 10, 15 minutes left. I would love to hear from you guys if you have questions, if you got comments, if anything resonated with you all. I would love to hear it. Let's talk. This ain't necessarily about me. Today I was a little down, and you know, I got some news that I wasn't so happy about. Didn't make me feel good, but then I had to just remember, you know what, God, I trust in you. So I trust that everything that's happening is what's supposed to happen. You know, whoever your higher being is, everything that's happening is what's supposed to happen. You know, and so what I need to do is make sure I position myself to be able to receive the lessons that I need, to be able to receive the blessings that's supposed to come out of this, to be able to receive whatever I need to pour into someone else, to be able to align myself properly with my leadership so that whatever needs to be poured into me is poured into me. You know, and that's just what it is. If we all had our own answers for everything, there would be no need for teachers and coaches and trainers, and there would be no need for that. There would be no need for it at all. You know, and so align yourself properly with your leadership if you're not already aligned. Okay? If you need to go through a transformation in any area of your life, do it. Don't put it off. You're in quarantine. What perfect time then to transform your mind? What perfect time then to spend this time working on you? There's no better investment that you can make right now with your time than in you. No better investment. None. So if you started this business, you know, if you started any business during this time, you know, I pray that you put as much into that business as you want out of it. Because in all honesty, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get out what you put in. You cannot go to the bank and think that you could take out $5,000 when you only put $50 in. It don't work like that. They not even going to let you overdraft that much. Withdrawals require deposits. If you want more, give more. If you want more, do more. If you want more, be more. Who are you going to show up to be? What transformation do you need to make in your life? That's really the bottom line of it. I really just wanted to share that with you guys. I think it's so important that we do the best that we can to serve. You know, I know that I'm a servant leader. I was created to be a servant. That's why I became a teacher. And this is what I love to do. Not only is it what I love to do, it is what I'm going through, or the process that I've been going through in my own life. And I feel like somebody out there going through this process, and sometimes we think, oh, I'm too old to be having to deal with this, and I shouldn't have to deal with this at this stage in my life. Honey, life is consistently evolving, and if you're not evolving and you're not growing and you're not changing and you're not transforming, then you're dead. Then that's just simple. You're dead. Life is about transforming and growing and elevating yourself. And so in order to do that, you have to, you know, you got to go through these things. I just got my book in the mail today, The Law of Recognition. Listen, I just skimmed through it when it first came. Man, I'm so excited. I can't even wait to read this book just from the little bit, you know, the little snippet that I was able to read. I am so excited to read that because I already feel in my spirit like this is about to give me something I need to help me get to the next level. And I'm so excited to just do that, because let me tell you something. Where God is about to take me in my life, I know that there's still some skills I need to pick up, some things I need to pick up, but it feels so amazing when you feel like you right in the midst of your purpose. You know, people spend their whole life trying to figure out what their purpose is on earth. And when you know it, and when you feel it, and when you finally align yourself properly, and you go after it, man, it's the best feeling in the world. I'm telling you. That's right, Auntie. Life will throw you stuff, but it's about how you deal with it. What are you going to do with it? And sometimes the things that life throw us, it ain't about us. It's not even about us sometimes. Sometimes we have to go through something in order to help someone else get to their next level. We do. I'm going to tell y'all this real quick, and this made me think, for those of you who are not Christians or you don't believe in Jesus or the Bible, it's fine. Just see this as a story. When you think about the story of Lazarus died, right? Jesus was on his way. The people were waiting for Jesus. The people were expecting Jesus to perform a miracle so that Lazarus did not die. They were waiting, and some people were upset, like, man, you ain't show up to the funeral. You ain't show up to the wake. You ain't show up to the repast. And now you want to come when we done bury him? He done been buried 3-4 days now. And now you want to show up? What you finna do now, Jesus? What you about to do now? People were angry when Jesus showed up. They were not happy to see him because they felt like, well, you had the power to save him and now ain't nothing you can do. But let me tell you how he worked this thing out. Jesus went to where Jesus, all he said was, child, y'all just show me where he at. All this stuff y'all talking, I showed up when I showed up. Show me where he at. Take me to him. Okay? They took him. Jesus could have prayed in silence. Jesus could have went into where Lazarus was and did his prayers and did all that stuff in silence and hid that process that he had to go through from everybody. He could have did that in private, but he was transparent about it. He stood in front of everybody and he called Lazarus forth from the dead. He let everybody see him pray. He was very transparent. He let everybody see him pray. He let everybody see that process. He didn't care what they thought. He didn't care what they said. He did not care. He let them see that process because he understood what that meant for everybody else. He understood that they needed to see this to believe. And had he done this in private and then came out, they would have never believed. Not only that, he could not go raise Lazarus from the dead on the 3rd day or the 2nd day or the 1st day. You know why? Because back in those days, those people believed that your spirit was still with you for 3 days. Your spirit did not leave your body until the 4th day. And so you really wasn't dead to them until the 4th day. So if Jesus would have came on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd day and said, Lazarus, come forth, they would have been like, child, he wasn't really dead anyway. You ain't really did nothing. You understand? They would not have believed him. So Jesus had to wait till all the doubt could be erased. He had to do it on the 4th day. The spirit gone now. He for sure dead right now, right? So let me show y'all let me show y'all who I really am. And let me be transparent about this transformation that's about to take place. Let me not hide it from you because I need you to see that it's possible. I don't care what you think because I know who I am. You got to get to that place. Jesus had already told himself the truth about who he was. He already trusted the process. He trusted that God had his back and he was transparent with everybody. And what did that transparency do for him? Lazarus had to die for Jesus to be able to die for our sins. Because it wasn't until Jesus resurrected Lazarus and then the people went back and said, y'all see what this, he did this. Like he really is who he say he is. That's when all the haters came. So don't get this, when you transform and when you go through this transformation and you be transparent about this, that everybody gonna love it. Everybody not gonna love it, but the people who are supposed to get it are gonna get it. And that's what is important. That's the only important part. The haters gonna come. They came for Jesus. And that's what led him to the cross. But it had to take place. Lazarus had to lay down his life. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Lazarus, there'll be no Jesus. In the terms of how we see it, Lazarus had to die. He had to give up his life in order for people to really understand that Jesus was Jesus, and then for Jesus to go and die on the cross for our sins. So I love Jesus, but I am so grateful for Lazarus for not being selfish, for not being so like, well, why me? Why I gotta be the one to help these people get what they need? Sometimes it gotta be you. Sometimes you got to go through that transformation. Sometimes you got to die to your old self and become a new person so that you can help somebody else on their journey. See, this ain't always about you. And once we get that selfishness out of our head, this life ain't just about us. You gotta go through this. Auntie, I want to know. I told you today on the phone. Tell me what this experience is. How is the test? How is this? How does it? Because it's not just about you. And of course we praying and all of that stuff, but this is something that it's not just about you. It's for other people. It's to dispel some of the lies that's out there, to dispel some of the myths that's out there about how this thing is moving and who it's really affecting. It ain't just about you. So don't keep this to yourself. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like, you did something wrong or nuh-uh. This ain't just about you. It's not. And so a lot of the things that we go through in our life, it ain't about us. So just remember, if you believe in Jesus, every time you pray to Jesus, you need to say thank you to Lazarus too, because Lazarus laid down his life so we could have Jesus go down that cross for our sins. See, God his plan gonna be carried out if you gotta live or die. And when you can come to grips with that reality, and you can come to grips that this journey is not just about you, then you will be able to live it more transparent. You'll be able to tell yourself the truth. You'll be able to trust the process, because it ain't just about you. And so you storing all them gifts in you that God gave you, he will kill you before he let his plan not come to life. Trust me. And not out of hate. It's not out of hate. Is that I gave you things that's going to save me 500 other people, and I need you to go give it to the darn world so I can get them 500 people, but you want to store your gifts all up in your belly and you don't want to share with the world. You want to show them the facade of who you are. You don't want to be transparent. You don't want to transform and tell yourself the truth, and now you preventing bringing other people to me. Oh no, child, we can't have that. So if I got to move you out of the way and get them gifts to somebody else, then that's what I'm going to do. This journey is not just about you. If you're in TLC, this TLC journey is not just about you. It's not. It ain't about you. Stop storing up all your gifts and thinking in this selfish mindset that, oh, my business, and I'm going to grow my business. This ain't about you. No. Don't turn around and try to help some other people and watch what happens to your business. So you guys, listen. I wasn't even planning on talking about that whole Lazarus story, but it just kind of came out that way because it's just so important for people to understand. The more you know, the more you grow, the more, and for me, the more I just feel like I want to share, and so you gotta just, when you're going through this transformation, trust, the process. So the 3 T's, like I said, tell yourself the truth. You cannot go through a transformation if you're still lying to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Thank you. Tell yourself the truth. Be transparent with the process. And trust it. Trust you and trust the process. Because if you can't trust you, nobody else will. And then forgive yourself. Stop holding stuff over your own head. Looking over your shoulder, waiting for this person from your past to come and tell all your business. Child, just tell it. Write it in the newspaper, read it together. Just tell it so you don't got to worry about that. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really, really appreciate your time. I hope that you got something from this. I really do. Please share it. I'm going to try my best to save it. I'm trying to film over here on YouTube, but I kind of think the camera all jacked up, but we'll see. But share. Listen, leave a comment. If you have questions, leave those comments. But I bless you guys. I'm praying for all of you on your journey to transformation. And I pray that you get to the point where you're really willing to share that with the world, because it's so beautiful and it's so powerful and it can help so many people. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really, really appreciate it. Love you. Later.